Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me as always on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I'm having a great time, especially looking at that poster behind you, because if you didn't know we were doing a skiing movie, you'd wonder what that man's doing to the tree.
No wondering. And why does the dog have to watch so hard? He's like, oh, not again. Here he goes.
Accurate. Yeah. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd. How you doing, Todd?
Been better.
Yeah. Me too, because today we're reviewing and discussing the film Ski Patrol. And I will say that if you hear some cats crying, it's because they watched the movie with me and they want you guys to know what they felt about it. So we'll get to that momentarily. But again, this is the episode where we will be reviewing Ski Patrol, released on January 12th, 1990, with a runtime of 92 minutes, rated PG. What's the matter? What's wrong? What did Todd do?
So nothing. But so I watched this movie with my wife, and when it was starting to play, she was like, "Oh man, this feels like super 80s." And I said, "Yeah, well, it is 1990, so it's just right about
January
there."
1990.
And that's what I said. I was like, "It's probably like January 1990," and sure enough, and I didn't know until you said it. So.
January 12th. Oh, yeah, it was all made in the 80s. January 12th, 1990, written by Stephen Long Mitchell, Craig W. Van Sickle, and Wink Roberts, directed by Richard Carell. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
Yes, sir.
Reluctantly, let's roll it.
It's epic production. So you know it's good.
No, that's
from the makers of Police Academy comes Ski Patrol.
From the makers of Police Academy 3.
The comedy that goes over the edge.
Nice.
It's a mouthful of hot dogs.
How you doing, How ladies? Dare they bring up
and
hot
dangerous curves.
Give you a push, man?
Where good.
It's normally a bigger stand than
and evil.
Time to put a little tarnish on Ski Patrol's shine.
They're everywhere!
Are going head to head. Head to toe.
Oh, much better! Oh.
And head to snow. Amen. Ski Patrol. They've got 24 hours to save Snowy Peaks.
Just do it!
From the vile clutches of Sam Maris.
I hate snow.
What?
What?
Roof.
Yeah.
Make him pay.
Ow!
Oh, yeah!
Yes!
Any more of this crap, and I'm gonna close this mountain down.
Get down! I love it!
This is better than sex!
It's got action.
Light him up.
Danger.
Oh!
Romance.
I have never met a man like you.
I'll bet.
And animal magnetism. Ski Patrol. It's this year's comedy that's out of control.
I'm a professional. Don't try this at home.
Well, that was the trailer for Ski Patrol. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be upset. Trailer for Ski Patrol, again, released on January 12th, 1990, rated PG with a runtime of 92 minutes, directed by Richard Carell, starring Roger Rose, TK Carter, Paul Feig as Stanley, who directed the 2016 iteration of Ghostbusters, featuring
not the worst thing he's done.
True. Also featuring George Lopez as the guy casted so they could blame somebody to steal something on.
Well, it was 1980s. United States.
No, I was like, what is George Lopez doing in the middle of like a ski slope? Like Mexicans don't ski. Now we know why he was there. Which, by the way, just a real quick, we're gonna get to some initial thoughts here. This is my first time. Todd, was requested, wasn't it?
Yes, I'm not by the biggest fan of it. I know we have a listener's big. I believe it's Daily Ghost is a fan. I don't think he's the one who requested it, but this one was suggested because it's not really a Christmas comedy, but it's a winter comedy, so it fits our theme.
Right.
I would have picked Ski School because that's the thing. Like, it's like you forget this isn't a sex comedy. It totally should be. Sorry, Ozzy. This is probably one time you kind of wish it was. Huh?
Well, it is kind of weird hearing the girl say, "I want to do something to you, but I need to ask your permission first."
You
It's so
see why
weird.
that didn't work in the 80s?
It's so weird to hear that like that early. It's like, what is this? Did we just fall into 2023 real quick?
Then you wonder why there were no laughs.
So again, let's get into the initial thoughts here. Like I said,
My
was
head.
suggested, not requested. I think that's worth mentioning. Within the first few minutes, I knew this was going to be a rough ride. I had to break it up in parts.
Oh, that bad.
Yeah, I saw the first half hour and I was like, I can't. My body was forcing myself to stay asleep or stay awake, and I almost fell over. And you can hear the cat right now saying,
Yeah, I hated it too.
yeah, it was a rough time. But there was two things that made me chuckle, but it was kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. Greg, how about some initial thoughts?
Well, I'd never heard of this film. I was unsure how I was going to feel because when you go back to these films, that are a little dated, you just never know how it's going to go. I do have to say there was a part while we were watching it that I was like, "Oh, great, a dance number. Ozzy's gonna love it." And Jackie goes, "Really? He loves him?" I was like, "Oh no."
Who would ever have a big dance at the prom, though? I mean, what kind of
Okay,
does
no,
that?
no.
Who
Do not,
does
no,
at
no.
the
We're
prom?
pausing. We're
Who
pausing
has
this.
that dance at a
We are
Who
pausing
does
this
it?
review right now
Yes.
because my issue was that it was a high school prom and randomly there was a 40-year-old lady dancing with a 17-year-old boy and everybody was cool with it.
It was the 80s. No one cared.
Well,
was a
anyway,
different time.
regardless, it's funny that you brought that up, Greg, because when the dancing started to happen, I turned to my girlfriend and say, "You know what? Have you ever seen Once Bitten?" She's like, "I don't think I have." And I explained what happened. And I was like, "I guarantee they will bring up, oh, Ozzy must have loved this." Sure enough, there we are.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
there was like it was like I tried describing some of it as well. Actually, I should save that part for the overall review after I give it a couple of positive comments. If actually maybe one combined, it's a hybrid. Todd, initial thoughts.
I watch this movie every once in a while, and then I remember why I never want to watch this movie every time. Because like part of my brain's like, Ski Patrol, and then I'm like, no, it's not. This is the one with George Lopez.
As though George Lopez is the one that makes it not a sex comedy.
Well,
He showed up on the set. Hey, no sex.
You telling me anyone feels sexy when George Lopez enters a room?
It's fair.
Yeah, so I know I've tipped my hand pretty much. Yeah, I we should have watched Ski School.
There was one point during the movie where my girlfriend turns to me and says, "Can't you guys like watch good movies?" And I was like, "That's the thing." I said, "That's the thing. Everybody does the good movies. That's easy.
Right.
Nobody does the bad ones, and that's why we're here."
And they love the bad ones Ozzy hates.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And we did
So-
kind of jump the shark with all the Mel Brooks we did early on. So.
We did, and I take partial blame for that. Actually, I take the majority of the blame for that. Anyhow, Todd, do you have a favorite moment in this movie?
Despite all of my dislike for it, I do. Leslie Jordan Murray. Leslie Jordan's hilarious as is, and just the whole concept of him growing and them shrinking his other stuff. And the payoff, I've always loved that bit. It's simple, it's dumb, but it's funny.
Right.
Right. Okay. That's fair. That was one I had down on my list.
Yeah, that's like the best part of this. Like
So
that
I
whole
took the what
bit.
everyone had.
Well, it's actually not my.
Okay.
So this isn't the funniest part for what the movie was. Uh this is a just because of what the current situation in life is was really funny. So the fact that George Lopez is stealing another comedian's bit made me laugh really hard because of his issues with Mencia. So, like that part, I lost it just because of where we are at this point after that whole debacle. But yeah, that got me more of a laugh than it probably should have.
You know, what's interesting about TK Carter as Iceman in the beginning of the movie is towards the beginning, he was doing all these impersonations, right?
Mhm.
And all I kept thinking was like, so when they're writing this, they're like, these are the people we can't get money for. Well, we wish they could say this. So of all the negatives that I have about this movie, there were a couple things that made me just chuckle. First one was the payoff for, like you said, Leslie Jordan, the growing
Mhm.
bit. The Elf House was fantastic. But one thing that was kind of like a roll my eyes and it almost got me upset was the could you help me find my eye contact? Like in the snow.
Oh.
It fell out. Can you help me find it? And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But then when they went back to it and to see like 20 guys looking for the contact, right?
Yeah.
And what it was, I was sitting there thinking like, this is so stupid. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. However, then one guy comes up and says, "Hey, did anybody lose a contact lens?" That made me laugh. That was good, but the joke, they tried to force another joke after that when that was funny by itself with all the guys tackling him because, they wanted to be the one that found the contact lens or
Mhm.
whatever. But the fact that he came in with the contact lens was like, that was enough. Like, they didn't need to add to that
Right,
because
right.
when you heard that, you're like, "You've gotta be kidding me. This cannot be serious." And then for that swerve, that twist, it was a ridiculous kinda thing that wasn't it fit. How about that? It was like a puzzle piece that fit instead of
You
just
can't even like really give
tons
it any good notes. You like I'm it's like this today in football, like wanting to root for the Cowboys. Like you don't want to. It feels gross, but it's true.
I, I do have a couple other notes I did jot down that made me laugh, and that's when George Lopez is referred to as that ethnic fellow, and the
Yeah.
and the Frito Bandito trick. I was like, oh Jesus, are we going there?
Which, by the way, if specifically the scene, where it was Pop's birthday party,
Mhm.
right? And you see Iceman and you see Eddie Martinez at a table, and everybody else in the background is white. And they're the only minorities there. So when Lopez meets or when he sees the kid at the hardware store and he does the Dangerfield bit and the kid doesn't
Mhm.
laugh, but then he does it in Spanish and the kid laughs, I'm like, okay, so the only other Mexican in town was the hardware store. Fantastic. Thank you guys.
At least he was
Awesome.
inside.
At least he was inside, not outside hawking for work. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he already got a job and was picking up the tools for it.
This is true.
Ridiculous.
Isn't it fun to see old 80s racism? And just like,
It was, and as soon as, like, the 3 guys were talking to Maris, played by, Martin Mull, when they were talking to him and they see Eddie Martinez outside the hardware store, and they're like, "We found a way to secure this," or whatever. "We have an idea." I'm like, "I swear to God, if they frame him for stealing." And then,
oh,
I was watching it happen, I was like, Yep, it's happening. Cool, right on. Right on, people."
you can tell white people pick these names. I mean, you got Eddie Martinez, And then you have your only black. Okay, what's iced tea, ice cube, Iceman? There we go, done.
Easy. Okay, so I brought this up earlier. There was one of the characters that turned out to be a great dancer, right?
Right.
He did the Saturday Night Fever bit, which is fine. Now, the thing that made me laugh about this whole thing is you all remember we reviewed The Jerk.
Mhm.
Yes.
There was a review a while back. If you haven't seen it, you're more than welcome to check it out. It's still there. There's a joke within The Jerk where where Steve Martin's trying to dance with the family and he is completely out of it, right?
Right.
And you look at that and you laugh, right? Because that's kind of the stereotype. So in this movie, when I see a black guy, the only black guy in the cast, oh no, we can't make him sing and dance. And I'm looking like, this is totally backwards. Like I just kept thinking to The Jerk, and it's like it was funny because Steve Martin made fun of something that was relatable, and I'm like, wait a second, hold on. All of a sudden, this guy gets to pull out moves that were popular 10 years ago, and he's the hero or whatnot. And then the whole talent show thing was man, it was rough. It was a very rough time. So, having said that, I think it's about time we get into our ratings. Todd, why don't you kick us off?
I did want to say something about TK Carter. If you want to watch him in a good winter movie, I'd recommend go watch The Thing. So there we go. There's
Not
that.
a comedy.
I didn't say a comedy. I said you want to watch a good winter film.
Well, I understand that, but just had to clarify because, Flesh Wound Farce, if we're sending people to watch other movies, you should clarify, not a comedy.
It is not a comedy, but it is a very good suspense picture. Anyway, for this film, I'm going to give it a 2. That's a generous 2.
That is a very generous 2. Greg?
I had fun.
Oh, no. He's going to be a 3.
So it was cheesy, campy, had some funny tongue-in-cheek moments. Leslie Jordan's fantastic. It was entertaining. Was it good? No. But it was entertaining and I had fun. And the whole neon thing brought me back.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Wow. Hi.
Actually, I'm gonna give it a 5. No.
You know what? Stop it. Stop it.
3.5.
Stop it. Even then, even.
Yeah, don't take Ozzy's 5. He's about to drop that one on you.
Okay. So the thing about this that really bothered me is that there's parts of the movie where stuff would progress. Then all of a sudden we'd see like 5 minutes of just skiing highlights. It could have been stock footage for all we know. And I'm thinking, this is like a 35-minute movie dressed up in a 90-minute wrapper. And I told my girlfriend, I was like, could you imagine you see like a burger, a cheeseburger on the menu at a restaurant, and it's got everything on it. Everything. When you get the burger, you realize they're able to put everything on it because it gives you like this much meat.
Yeah,
That's what
McDonald's.
Okay. But my point being is like, you had like this much movie, but it was filled with all this fluff, right? Which, whatever that was the time, doesn't mean I have to like it. But when I used that analogy, she said, it's like having soggy lettuce on top of an ice cream sundae. It's just a bad time.
So let me ask you this.
Yes.
Gun to your head.
Oh, no.
Would you rather watch this again or Hot Dog the movie?
Oh, no. Oh, God. Okay. Technically, my rating for Hot Dog the movie was actually higher than this. Because I think I recall giving Hot Dog the movie like a 2. Or I think it was like 1.5.
That was
or
low.
2. Right. This, I had it at a 1. And then the dance scene happened. And then I'm at a 0.5. And I'm only doing the 0.5 because of the elf bit. The growth pills bit. That was really funny. The eye contact thing, okay. But the elf bit, that was really funny. And the build up and the setup to that. it's a point. It's a half a point, half a star, half
The
a star.
random racism was pretty funny too.
In one of those like, oh my god kind of
Right.
ways. Sure.
Ah,
There was a. I think that was all I had to mention about that. Uh, oh, what was with? I mean, the schizophrenic guy. What the heck was that about?
When the puppet came out and punched him in the face, that was golden. I laughed so hard.
they were hoping this movie hit, and that was going to be the big
Greg,
Christmas.
are you trying to piss me off?
No.
Like, are you trying to rile me up? Because like,
It was so dumb.
there's a child that is asleep, and I can't get riled up. So
Challenge accepted. No.
No.
Only we did ski school.
Yeah.
We got Meatballs 3 to look forward to this next summer.
Oh, fun. That should be a lot of fun. Okay, if anybody's interested in trying to watch this movie, for you, unfortunately, it is not available to stream outside of Tubi. Of course, available for rental or purchase wherever you purchase any of your favorite digital content. But in terms of streaming, it's Tubi with ads. I think that should be indicative of something.
Tubi's it's on Tubi, so that's access for everyone. A brand new special edition Blu-ray just hit last month from MVD with a beautiful slipcover. Yes, Ozzy, are you gonna pick that one up? Christmas present.
Excellent.
You know, honestly, do you think that would be the Blu-ray I bought you for Christmas, Ozzy? Or you think it'd be something else?
Oh man.
Ozzy, you get the
I
Blu-ray.
swear to
for
God,
Christmas
I
now.
swear to God, if there's anything with the name Wang Wang in it, I'm gonna be freaking livid.
You should
Give
watch
Wing
that
Wing start
documentary.
in this one.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm
They're a
not. I'm
good
not.
documentary.
No. I'm not. I don't. No. I don't give a crap about
You
your
know what?
Wang.
Now that Die Hard's been entered on our voting list, anything could happen.
Hey, speaking of voting list, should we get into that right now? Can we talk about the films that our fantastic
have.
patriot
This
fan
is-
base is able to vote on at this moment?
We had to wheel them down, and I'm gonna try to hold my poker face in alphabetical order.
Okay, there
We
you go.
have Christmas Vacation
We already did that.
2.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You're giving
Oh
it
my
away,
God.
Ozzy.
Go.
Don't do that.
Oh yes.
Composure. We have Die Hard.
Oh my god, I hate that movie.
You already did your plea last week, and it's in the description.
Yeah.
We have Just Friends.
That the Ryan Reynolds were in a fat suit.
Yes. We
Okay.
have. Ooh, here's a good one. A Medea Christmas.
Oh my god. Medea's gonna be in every holiday voting because I'm pretty
We've
sure
lucked out so far.
We'll see. I'm giving it away.
What if it
And
turns out being good,
finally-
Ozzy?
Greg, don't do that.
And
You
our
don't
final film up for is Surviving Christmas, Gandolfini.
Interesting.
So, and Ben
Okay.
Affleck.
James Gandolfini and Ben Affleck.
Do
Okay.
all of these at least have one vote?
Well, we'll talk about votes next week
Okay. All right.
because
Because if they did, they'd have more votes than the Raiders got points today. Which, even if it was just one,
I'm just gonna assume Ozzy has like LOD, like Raiders shoulder pads with some spikes going on. Ozzy, careful, Ozzy, you're becoming the tree. I hope those were your dirty underwear.
I screamed into this pile of paper towel to.
I said I hoped it was your dirty underwear. So what were you screaming about? I don't even remember.
It was Greg bringing up, do any of these movies have one vote? Because if they did, that would be more points than the Raiders had today.
How many points did they have?
you can't say if it's 0.
To who?
Doesn't matter.
To who?
Doesn't matter.
Greg, to who?
I think it was Minnesota.
Okay.
I
That's
should
not
have just
even in
said the
your.
Broncos just because.
They're not even in your division, are they? That sucks.
They're not even in the conference.
See? I know stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the voting. Back to that before Greg so rudely derailed this into an anti-Raiders conversation. You are more than more than able to vote rather at patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. And just for $1 a month, you will be able to unlock the tier that would allow you to vote on potentially one of the films that we will be to vote on one of the films that we will be reviewing later this month. Any other news from you guys before we head out for this evening? I'm saving my stuff for last, so you guys are going first.
No,
Really?
no. Join us next week. I don't know.
Yeah, get those votes in. I'm looking forward to seeing what
And
happens.
just in case you've been following along, just in case you're interested in the Fantasy Football Championship
I thought it was gone.
repeat. No, it is not. Because I'm telling you right now, I am looking pretty good on making these playoffs. All I got to do is win. If I win, I'm in. And I was this close. I had 2 guys on my bench. For those that are really into it, I had benched Brees Hall and Jahmyr Gibbs because I was able to get Kyron Williams, Josh Jacobs, and Zach Moss. Zach Moss, Josh Jacobs had less than half of what Brees Hall had today. But I was still able to win because comedian Brad Williams sucks at fantasy football.
Is he
Yeah.
in playoff position right now?
Not anymore.
Oh.
The champion will repeat. And that's all I got to say about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, anything else you got, honestly, before we head out for the evening? Go check out patreon.com/fleshwoundfeatures. Vote for one of those films that we will be reviewing at the end of the month. And nothing else, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right. For Flesh Wound producer Todd and world famous juggler Greg Larson, I'm Ozzy V. And we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.